All right, this is James Detroit. Hopefully, we have corrected some technical difficulties. It is possible that it was simply on my end. It is also possible because of the content that is in these videos that there could be something on the other end. But here we go. An attempt to follow up and finish. I've been in heated discussions, and I say heated because I get excited, I get loud, I'm passionate about protecting my freedom, protecting your freedom, and trying to speak from a position of facts and truth. And we know that that is a very rare condition, situation. Very few people speak the truth on a regular basis. The first lie we typically tell is to ourselves. I've asked you before, are you willing to admit you were wrong? Are you willing to admit that you were wrong in believing mainstream media was anything other than a propaganda arm, state-run? Project Mockingbird, CIA, it's been implemented and works quite well because today more and more people have been conditioned. Their minds have been conditioned. They believe the propaganda. I was asked even just this morning, why should I believe you? James, why should I believe you instead of somebody on TV? Why do I have to read this stuff? Why do I have to look someplace else? If what you're saying, James, is true, why isn't it on TV? Project Mockingbird. The people, if they want to work at the local ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox affiliate, they need to recite certain narratives. You've seen the little videos that have been sent out, and behind the person talking is all the little TV screens, and across the country, it's the exact same language. They are all saying it. You need to believe me right now. That's what they say. You need to believe me right now. What I'm saying is that Gallup poll in 1975, 3/4 of American citizens believed the media. Gallup poll in 2020, 87% of the citizens of America do not believe the media. That's the Gallup poll. Let's talk about somebody else's information. And let's bring to light what mainstream media is not telling you. Dr. Fauci stated right on into deep March, there's no reason for any of us to be wearing masks. The flu is going to kill more people. This is not something to be worried about. And he's right. But why did he change his narrative? Because he's been part of 6 administrations. You don't want to use the term military industrial complex or deep state or any of these other things, the unelected bureaucracy of this country that controls so much of us. Well, that's an example of him changing the narrative because he was reminded, hey, we're never going to let a crisis go to waste. Let's go. This is all part of a bigger plan. What is that plan? The Gates Foundation, SARS-CoV-1, through vaccinations, there has been, and people tell me I'm crazy, Bill Gates would never try to kill a whole bunch of people, commit mass genocide on a global scale. Time is the ultimate truth teller. And what these conspiracy theorist rumblings sounded like 20 years ago, and now we have more and more evidence in different countries kicking these vaccination trials out. Polio. The outbreak strain of polio is the vaccination strain on this planet. There are things that you need to research on your own. But let's get to something more, I guess, more front and center right now in Michigan. Supposedly, and I didn't see this because I never listened to what this governor says in Michigan, but supposedly there's going to be an executive order reinstituted that takes us back to some stage, some made up stage, some make believe stages so we can get back to normal. Remember, folks, it was just going to be a 2-week lockdown. A 2-week, let's scale it back so we can get this under control. The hospitals were never overrun. We actually let go of people. And let's talk about the hospitals again. I did a issue or an episode on this about the certificate of need. Hospitals are businesses. They're run exactly that way. They are between 85 and 90% capacity because they're a business. So when we have all of these doctors coming out 8 months ago, 7 months ago, 6 months ago, stating the facts, and then they're being censored and they're being disinformation, and they pull them off the media, off of all these media sources. Why were they doing that? Why would a doctor go on and lie about what he's seeing? He's censored because all of them were censored because it's not part of the narrative. So you're run like a business. You need to get positive tests. You need to get admittance into the hospital. You need to then ask for more money from the government. And then you take a positive test. I read Yahoo every day, so I kind of know what the other side is really, how their narrative fits. And I watched the headlines from CNN. I shared a few today, CNN news articles today. I mean, Yahoo had a woman who tested positive in her left nostril, negative in her right nostril, or vice versa, whatever it was. The point is, the tests are not very accurate. Multiple people that ended up having COVID and living that I know tested false negative, positive. Tested false positive, tested negative. But every time a positive COVID test comes in, it goes into the bank. Every time a negative COVID test, then we're not supposed to believe that one. My point is, the numbers are not correct. But the CDC is even telling you that of the 200,000, let's just use 200,000 because that's an easier number for me to do the math, 200,000 COVID deaths in the United States, they admit that only 6% of them actually died. Of those deaths were from COVID. And of those 6%, many of them they're really not healthy people. There is some speculation. So let me finish on that. So we've got a pathogen that to some extent is legitimately killing older, sicker people. If you're 70 and under, you got a real good chance of surviving it regardless of your pre-existing conditions. If you're 70 to 90, you got some pre-existing conditions, it's a tough battle, but you can still beat it. Mentally, you have to have your mind right. And then over 90, it drops back off like you're 14 and under, the death rates. And a lot of that has to do with your body's existing cell structure and how this virus can attach to it and attack it. Again, I'm not trying to be a doctor, but I sure as hell know as much or more than Chris Cuomo or any of these other people that are telling you something and then doing something else for themselves. So the speculation also includes, because this is SARS-CoV-2. Where did SARS-CoV-1 actually come from? And when Bill Gates in interviews is talking about, well, this time it's going to be a lot more noticeable, as if he had something to do the last time. We also have information. It's suggested this virus was created by the Chinese Communist Party in a lab in China for the purpose of killing the old. The old in our society, doesn't matter if it's China, European Union, or the United States, the old costs us more money than anybody else. There is a suggestion out there that this was specifically designed to eliminate a higher percentage of the old people. Let's see what Time, the truth teller, let's see what Time tells us. I'm going to leave it at that. It's around 10 minutes. I hope these shorter videos get you an opportunity. It says there's 41 subscribers on here. I'm asking you in Michigan and across the country to stand up for freedom, to rise up against tyranny. You cannot tell me how many people I can have in my house. You cannot force me to take a vaccination. What I decide to put in my body is my greatest individual right. I will not stand idly by and allow that to be taken from me. And I am saying this as encouragement for more people that understand what's really happening to rise up, and in greater numbers, together we are stronger. I'm asking the 41 people that are subscribers to share this with at least 5 people. And I'm asking those 5 people to share it, etc., with 5 more people. I am James Detroit. And for now, I'm out.